if you've been living under a rock like Patrick Starr, let's say, the past year, or just really haven't been paying attention to, the latest college football news this summer, well, it's 2024. And you know what that means? All that talk about conference realignment starts this season. Starts in just a couple weeks. And it all starts with Oklahoma and Texas. Let's take a look at the big SEC breakdown. This is the new SEC as they add Oklahoma and Texas, as I just mentioned. So, they're gone. They're out of the Big 12. But what does that leave the Big 12 with? Well, they actually added Cincinnati, UCF, Houston, and BYU last year. But they're bringing in 4 new ones from the Pac-12 now. The Pac-12 falling apart now. And in case you're wondering, the Pac-12 is basically gone. I'll talk more about that later. But the Big 12 now has Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado is back, and Utah. Utah might be the powerhouse of the Big 12 now. So it quite possibly might be Utah and Kansas State are now the Oklahoma and Texas reigning the Big 12. But also, if you just look at all these teams in the Big 12, it's going to be pretty entertaining. I don't know who's going to win the Big 12. Any one of them can win it. And that is going to make quite a season for the Big 12. But can any one of them win, or not just win the Big 12, but not just get to the college football playoff, the 4th spot, but can they win? I mean, the Big 12 has a hard time winning in the playoffs, except for TCU, although they got annihilated to Michigan in that championship game. They don't want to talk about that anymore. But where'd the rest of the Pac-12 teams go? Well, the Big 10 got some new ones. They've got Oregon, Washington, UCLA, and USC. That is going to make quite a conference, and we're going to see some quite a Pac-12 Big 10 after dark games, for sure. But here's my main takeaway from this. We got UCLA and USC. You know, if they ever have to play Rutgers, home or away, wherever, they have to travel. I mean, football, basketball, that traveling distance, not bad. For those lower sports that probably doesn't have the funding for traveling that much, I mean, it's doable. It's gotta be very expensive. Yeah, that is gonna hurt recruiting probably and traveling for those teams. But what was left of the ACC? There were a few left of the Pac-12. What does the ACC gather out of it? They got California. Wait. You're saying that the Atlantic Coast Conference now has a team from the Pacific Coast? Are you kidding me? Oh, and Stanford is now in the ACC. Wouldn't you believe that? Oh, and let's just throw in, the ACC wants to make it odd. They are very odd right now. So let's have an odd amount of teams, of schools. So let's just throw SNU in there, although they have a brand new Jumbotron. Yeah, to say, yeah, we're now Power 5, Power 4, but it is so small. I mean, ain't it you're on the other side of the stadium, you have to squint your eyes to be able to see it. It's so hilarious. But anyway, there's the new ACC. And also, there have been rumors over the summer that Clemson and Florida State are wanting out of the ACC. Now, that's been rumored for quite a few years. But are they potentially joining the Big 12 now? We'll have to wait until 2027, possibly, for it to be like that. Yeah, they're stuck in the ACC for at least a couple more years. But where does that leave the Pac-12? Well, they're now the Pac-2 now, but they're still going to be called the Pac-12. Oregon State and Washington State. Yep, so the championship game for the Pac-12 is already set. Yep, and it's in October. Yeah, who would have thought a conference championship game would be in October? Yeah, but guess what? Are they just going to play one game and then, oh, wow, automatic bid to the playoff? No, they don't even get an automatic bid. But they have partnered with the Mountain West. So the rest of their non-conference schedule is going to be Mountain West. And then they have their official non-conference schedule that they will have. So any home games that Oregon State and Washington State has, it will be under the Pac-12 brand. If it's away game at a Mountain West school, it will be under Mountain West license. If that gets even more confusing. But, yeah, that is the college football we're looking at this year. Oh, and I'm not done yet. We've got a brand new playoff. But before I get to that, let's take a look at the FBS real quick. Yeah, Notre Dame. After all that, they decided to stay independent. Yeah, I think the plan was for them to go to the ACC, and the ACC was hoping that so they can have even amount of schools, but they sure are like, nope, we're staying independent. Also, UMass and UConn are still independent. They're staying still, although there's been talk about UConn joining the Big 12, mainly probably just for basketball, but we'll see about that later. Oh, and guess what? Army is now in the American Conference, but the Army-Navy game, when they play each other late in the season, it will not count as a conference game. Yeah, even more confusing. But let's jump into the new 12-team playoff, which gets even more confusing if you haven't even seen it yet. And I gotta say, I think it worked out for the best, kind of, because if we look at it, I mean, 4 teams get a first-round bye. We're down to the Power 4. The Big 12, the Big 10, ACC, and the SEC. They all get the win. If you win your conference in the Power 4, first-round bye, and you're ranked in the order of the selection committee. And then 5 through 11 is ranked based on at-large. 12th seed is basically the highest ranked group of 5 team. Or if the group of 5 team is higher, very unlikely, but it's possible unless you're Cincinnati. But that was a year. But unless they're higher than 12 seed, they will be at 12. And then you'd think, oh, if your team is 12th in the ranking heading to the playoffs, do not think that you're safe. Do not think you're in. You're still out of it, even though you might be 12 in the official final rankings. No, they're going to give it to a group of 5, so don't forget about that. And also, according to the AP poll for week 1, we've got Oregon versus Boise State in the first round, Ole Miss and Notre Dame, Texas versus Michigan, boy, that's going to be a good one, Penn State and Alabama, and first round games will be played at home in campus home games for the higher ranked seeds. So Oregon would have been home, Ole Miss would be home, Texas would be home, and Alabama would be home. And then just like a normal bracket, they would move on. And then the next round, we'll do the rotations of the New York Six Bowls. And guess what? The Rose Bowl, yeah, they don't want to be part of the rotation anymore. So they're in a little bit of confusion. So it might be possible that the Rose Bowl won't even be a semifinal game anymore. So they're fine with being semifinal just because they want to play on New Year's Day every single year for tradition. And I gotta respect them for that. But there you go. There's your conference realignment for 2024.